Prologue. The silent which buys some time. Powerful gusts, thick with mana, swirled in the skies above Keely Linden Forest. Roaring, they engulfed the wind flowing in from the north, bending branches and shaking leaves. One tree among the others, however, remained unaffected. It towered before Monika's eyes, and at the very top stood a beautiful maid with her blonde hair tied back. She stood, legs together, with her inhuman eyes staring down at Monika and Bartholomeus. This was Rinsbulfide, a high wind spirit contracted to Louis Miller. On any other day, Monika would have found her to be a reassuring ally. But right now, she didn't say a word as she swung a blade of wind down at Monika. Her movements were detached, as though she were only doing her job. "Miss Arwen," Monika shouted, putting up a defensive barrier as she gazed up at the spirit. Under normal circumstances, the spirit might have answered with something like "Indeed, it is I, the talented chief made Rinsbulfide." An earnest, silly response that could have been genuine or merely a joke. But this time, there was no reply. Instead of speaking, she brought the wind blade crashing down against Monika's barrier like a huge axe, destroying it. Monika quickly put up a second barrier and continued to hold out. A high spirit's attacks are so mana-dense. Nothing like a person's. Spirits had far greater mana capacity than humans, and they were very good at using it. Because of that, they didn't need to weave formulae and use their power in the form of magecraft like humans did. That also meant they didn't have to chant. And so, neither the spirit nor the silent which took the time to chant as they rapidly traded blows. Again and again, the wind blades slammed down. Again and again, Monika put up her next barrier the instant her existing one broke. While it might have seemed like an even fight, Monika a human would be the first to run out of mana. "Come on, Rini, wait a second. We're here to save you from that bad mage." "It won't be any use, Mr. Bartholomeus," Monika quietly cut in. Bartholomeus knew the gem mage had invented a magical item that used spirits as a source of energy, but he didn't know about the ancient magical item that controlled them. If Monika explained the situation, she would have to keep that part secret. She chose her next words very carefully. "I believe that Miss Ryn is under someone else's control." "Wait. What?" Bartholomeus glanced between Monika and Ryn in shock. The modern magecraft repertoire did not contain any spells that could force a spirit to do one's bidding. Monika couldn't blame him for not understanding right away. Another one of her barriers shattered, and she put up a new one. Ryn was under the control of an ancient magical item called Galanis, the flute of the false king. That item was currently held by Emmanuel Darwin, the gem mage. Monika was supposed to buy time for her allies to destroy it, but they'd grossly underestimated how difficult that would be. "I'll have to attack her almost to the point of dissipation or put a sealing barrier on her." Louis, Ryn's master, had told Monika that she was free to beat the spirit to a pulp. He'd even said he would understand if she accidentally wound up destroying her completely. But over the course of her undercover mission at Serendia Academy, Ryn had helped Monika out many times, and she'd rather disable her with a sealing barrier if she could. Unfortunately, because high spirits were so adept at controlling their mana, it was difficult to affect them with human magecraft. If Ryn seriously resisted, even Monika would struggle to execute a perfect seal. But because she's under someone else's control, her attacks are straightforward and easy to read. As long as I make the seal complicated, it should keep her busy for a while, at least. Monika began to think up a suitable magecraft formula. "Hey, kid. Can your magecraft save Rini?" Bartholomeus asked. "If I can trip her up, then, yes. I should be able to disable her with a sealing barrier." Sealing barriers were difficult to use at a distance. Monika would need to get closer. She could only maintain 2 spells simultaneously, and she was already using one to keep up the barriers protecting her from Ryn's wind blades. She'd have to use the other to close the distance. But how? "I don't know if it'll work, but I have a plan," Bartholomeus suggested quietly. "Can you buy me a little time?" Monika blinked and looked up at him. The man was no mage. She'd never considered relying on his help. Oh. Was it okay to involve him? Could she count on him? She wasn't sure. Bartholomeus slapped her on the back. This is my chance to look good in front of her, kid. So help me out, would you? All right. Then, go ahead. Haha. Good answer. As Monica dispelled her barrier, Bartholomeus ran back along the route they'd come. Ryn aimed a slender finger at him as she stood atop the tree. Apparently, she'd been ordered to finish off any stragglers. No, you don't, muttered Monica. Ryn let her wind blade loose, but before it could reach Bartholomeus, the silent witch put up another barrier. The mana-dense blade easily destroyed it, but Monica instantly put up another. The lethal gusts were just like physical weapons, except they were invisible. They came slashing down, intending to cut their target apart. Yet Monica showed no fear as she faced them. My barriers may not be as good as Mr. Louis's, but... She calmly erected more barriers, carefully calculating the scope, duration, and how much mana she would need, making sure to keep everything to a minimum. She was good at this kind of thing. Monica was far more comfortable scrupulously controlling her mana consumption than she was quickly unleashing flashy, high-powered spells. Well, I think I'm pretty good at stalling. The silent witch absorbed herself in her calculations, never yielding an inch to the high spirit and her immense stores of mana.